Hello and welcome back to Strange Antiquities. It's all been leading up to this. This is the last episode of my playthrough. We are on day 18. And I have no idea what's going to happen. I have heard that there are more than one ending to this game, and it depends on the choices you make as you go along. Let's pet Jupiter. And let's start the day. I don't think I have any... Oh, right. At the end of the last session, I got this clue. So let's follow up on it. It has a compass at the bottom, so I assume I need to use my maps to solve it. It says, I lie below books and scrolls on the esoteric and the arcane. Well... Is there a library in town? I think there is. We had to go across the street from the library in another clue. But the card didn't vanish, so maybe that wasn't it. The Wordsworth Library is a quiet haven of books and knowledge, its shelves well stocked and well kept, a place where time slows with every turn of a page. The librarian, Simone, sits at the desk, her focus fixed on her work, as always. I've found some old books that dig into the history of strange antiquities, she says without looking up. It's very old, you know. I'll be sure to visit if I uncover anything useful. Okay, so that wasn't it. This is Simone here. She's one of our character cards, and she's the daughter of Verona, who last time I saw her had black eyes. And I think I made a serious mistake giving her the wrong object. Not on purpose, but totally on accident. I lie below books and scrolls on the esoteric and the arcane. Let's go back to the map. Let's see if there's a library. Yeah, there's a library in Gleeston Castle, but it says I lie below books and scrolls. So this one or this one? Well, we've already been to this room that had the mark of Jupiter. Books and scrolls. Well, it extends all the way down here, so I mean, it could be one of these rooms too. Am I just going to be searching this whole house? Alright, well, let's start here. I'm wasting my time. Yeah, see, and if I waste too much of my time, I'll start going insane. Must have taken a wrong turn. This isn't where I meant to come. Well, the word library is down here. So maybe down here? Nope, this isn't right either. I'm gonna end up using up all of my guesses. And I don't even know if I'm barking up the right tree. Alright, well, let's check this room. Oh, that was the one. Tarot reader, solve all the clue cards. Okay, that was the last clue card. As I open the door, I am hit by the musty smell of damp. This room hasn't been entered for some time. The corner of the room is piled high with scrolls of parchment and old books. But underneath the debris, I find something of interest. Ooh, that is very interesting. You know what that looks like? It looks like one of the items we hadn't identified yet. This one, the shin. These common items are made using materials with a connection to the ocean. Simple objects made by sailors and fishermen to keep their boats safe. And this looks like it's made out of a wooden plank, like a piece of the boat. And then this blue stone has to do with the water. If we look in our gemology book. Oh, there it was. A pale blue or turquoise colored stone, aquamarine, a stone of water. This kind of confused me at first, calling it turquoise, because there is a stone called turquoise. But yeah, anytime we see a turquoise colored stone, it's aquamarine. And it has these little dots around it. Maybe like the points on a compass? I don't know. A piece of driftwood. Yeah, there we go. Turquoise gemstone, iron. It's weathered and polished. Yeah, I bet that's a shin. I'll put a question mark. I think there was another object up here, yeah, that I thought might be a shin, but that's definitely not. Alright, we'll put this over here for now with the other wooden object that is unidentified. Oh, and let's see what happens next. Eli, my boss, is back. The museum was ransacked last night. Oh no. I went looking for my brother, but he's nowhere to be found. Yeah, he came into the shop looking for you. The good news is they didn't find what they were looking for. I moved the casket myself and hid it here in one of the Strange Antiquities vaults. It's safe for now, but we can't leave it here for long. I have more to prepare, but I've left instructions on how to access the vault in the desk drawer. The vault is in the desk drawer, or the instructions are in the desk drawer? Okay, he has incredible faith in me, holding down the fort here while he's off trying to fight demons and figure things out. Is this the note he left for me? A candle that gives off no light, an anchor that has never touched the ocean, a finger but not of flesh. And it has a check mark. Oh my gosh. In a previous session, I accidentally found a secret area of the game, but there was nothing there. Yeah, okay, so how did I accidentally find it? Well, here's the thing. So I had some objects sitting right here, 3 objects, and I wanted to move them out of the way so I could put these books up here. And so I just stuck them down here. I went bing, 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 and it opened the area. Now I can't remember which objects they were. A candle that gives off no light is probably this one, the Carrick's candle, because it has the symbols for candle. It has a fire and a wax rune on there. And then an anchor that has never touched the ocean is probably the soul anchor, shadow anchor. We hadn't identified this one yet until sometime, I think it was yesterday or the day before in the game. And then a finger but not of flesh. I don't remember which object that was. Is it this one? Yeah, that was it. Oh, see? We've already opened that area because there was a puzzle with a moon. And we had to use this and unlock it and open it. See, I pushed down these buttons here. But there was nothing there. Now there is. Do I want to take that out? Because as long as it's hiding in here, nobody's going to get it, right? I don't want it out in my shop. Alright, well, let's put this in the archive. I don't know if we've got anything left to put in here. A couple of notes over here that aren't finished. Okay, but now that it's out in the shop, aren't all of the black-eyed people going to show up trying to get it? Alright, let's examine it. Blackened wood and gold. It feels rough to the touch. It's a beautiful box. Doesn't make any sound or smell. But I have a complex feeling coming over me. It is both horrifying and yet compelling. Yeah, well, maybe we should have just left it where it was hidden. Eli. It's the mailman, David Schaefer. The lake has turned black. As omens go, I'd say that's probably quite a bad one. But the mail won't deliver itself. I appreciate your dedication to your job, Mr. Schaefer. Yeah, the priestess lady, the priestess of Holgar lady came in here saying watch for the lake to turn black because that would be a sign. EB. I found this note in an old writing desk up at Gleaston Castle. I expect it will mean more to you. Fear in autumn, rising in winter. Yes, I know exactly what that means. It feels all too prescient as we hurtle towards winter and a terrible, unknowable fate. EB. EB, is that... Edmund Bishop, right. He's the one that I think... Yeah, he's the 14th Lord of Gleaston Castle. Okay, thank you, my dude. Yes, this does mean something to me. What it means is that we have to get out our Bishop's Square. And we need to open the map of Gleaston Castle. And see, here on Gleaston Castle it says Mars in winter, rising in summer. And we were able to use the Bishop's Square by putting the symbol of Mars into the circle of winter and then clicking on the room that was indicated by the summer opening. And we did it again somewhere else. I can't remember. I think it was down here. It was like blessings in spring or whatever. And then we clicked on this castle tower. So now that we have a note that says fear in autumn, rising in winter, what we have to do is find the symbol for fear. Fear is this one. Little triangle-y kind of thing, which is over here. Okay, so it's going to be fear in autumn. That's this, because this is the symbol for autumn right here. So we're going to put fear into that hole, and then rising in winter means we want to click on this room indicated by the winter area of the square. I searched the room at the foot of the western tower quite thoroughly before finding a stash of papers, I guess. To my dismay, they are largely the scrawlings of a madman, but in amongst the nonsense there is some valuable information. Oh, we have some more pages for our identification book. Does that mean we're done with this one now? Oh, no, there's still not a check mark on it. This is the note that came along with the Bishop's Square to explain kind of how it worked. I guess I should leave it out where I can see it. Okay. Well, we're done with this note. So we can put this in here, and I'm thinking that might be the end of all of our notes we can stash in the archive because there's no more room in the archive. Oh my gosh. I'm scared to ring the bell. Oh, it's Barton Potter. I've discovered the missing piece of the puzzle. There is an ancient shrine to the nameless gods at the skull of Blencathra. It seems humanity tried worshipping them once, long ago, before we learned how little they care for us. We must take the casket there. Whatever happens, we must not allow it to be opened. Okay. I think he's the one that originally found the casket, and that's how he lost his eye. It started to possess him, but he cut part of his mind out using this diverging hook. Well, or a diverging hook like this one. Eli, did you see Barton Potter? Time to end this now. Bring the casket to the pit. Okay. The pit. That's the eye. We don't want that. Where's the pit? The pit. Number 20. 19, 20 right here. Have we been here before? The sun is low in the sky as we arrive at the pit, casting a warm light across the treetops and the open fields. A solitary raven cries out from the tree line, and I look to the skies, but they are empty. Oh, this music is cool. The pit itself is an ominous sight that the otherwise serene atmosphere can do nothing to diminish. It is a scorched black hole, perhaps 5 meters in diameter, that has an unnatural look to it. This is a site of thaumic convergence. It is no simple thing to destroy an object of this kind. We need to set up opposing powers at opposing compass points, strength and weakness, light and darkness. And finally, we need the light of fortune to bind them. Okay, so I'm thinking strength and weakness has got to be the witherance and the fortinance. Because a witherance is the inverse of a fortinance and is put to malicious use, and a fortinance enhances physical strength or restores strength. It's got a symbol of strength on it, and this has the symbol for weakness. So I'm thinking these two. He doesn't say exactly where they need to be, so I guess it doesn't matter which compass points. Okay, and then light and darkness. All right, well, I know there's a sun bond. And a sun bond creates light. I've used it before in the game. A sun bond is small and lightweight, designed to be carried discreetly. They carry the warmth and light of the sun and can pierce the darkest gloom. Okay, but what goes opposite the sun? What is our object of darkness? Let's look up darkness. Dark? Darkness. Denevran Cloak. Yeah, Denevran Cloak I think makes you invisible. Oh, it creates a sphere of enshrouding darkness. Okay, that could be a contender. A Tenebran Cloak. Where is that one? Oh, this is it over here. It has a moon symbol on it, so I put it with these other moon symbol items. But we need the light of Fortune to bind them all together. And I don't know which one that is. These Noctic items have no connection to the League of the Amphibian Heart despite appearances. Now, the Amphibian Heart people seem to like snakes, so this might be something with a snake on it. They are objects of considerable power that can turn darkness to light, fear to joy. Well, Eli, it sure would help if you would just flat out tell me which object that was. It might be this, because it has snakes on it. But it's got a black gemstone. Onyx. Which is a stone of night and darkness. So I don't think that would be Korchin's light, would it? Because that's not a stone associated with light. They're Noctic items. Okay, so we would have to see if it had a Noctic field. Let's open our lens here. It does have a Noctic field. I'm thinking that's got to be it. Okay. Fate of the world. Fate of the world. Eli inspects my work. His face shows little emotion, but he seems satisfied. By now, the sun has finished setting, and only a hint of red afterglow remains in the darkening sky. The raven croaks his mournful cry once again, but this time there is a reply, and then another. I look up and see several dark shapes circling above. Quickly now, they're here. I spin round to follow Eli's gaze, and my pulse quickens as I look out across the field. A large group of shadowy figures is walking steadily towards us. We can't see their faces at this distance in the low light, but I'd be willing to bet that every one of them has pools of midnight for eyes. In the sky above, the ravens continue to grow in number, and their caws and cries get louder and louder. I look down at the black object in my hands. Such a small thing, and yet its seductive power is impossible to ignore. It wants to be opened. Suddenly, it feels inevitable. The casket, now. Oh, this is like Lord of the Rings. Throw the ring into the fires of Mordor. But I'm not sure I want to give it to him. I can use a Wixic cord or give him the Nalian casket. Well, I gotta give him the Nalian casket. Well, let's look at Wixic cord just to check it out. Yeah, we've already identified this. They cause a freezing effect. Yeah. I've used it before. Do we have a entry on the Nalian casket? No, we do not. Okay, because we already know what it is. The Wixic cord is this thing up here. It causes paralysis. Nope, I gotta give him the Nalian casket. Does use item mean I open it, or does it mean I give it to him? I'm assuming it means I'm giving it to him. The wave of intoxicating power washes over me, but I hold strong against it. I hand over the casket, and together we begin activating the items arranged around the pit. Working as fast as we can, it still takes longer than we'd like, and when I look up again, the thaumaturge has fear in his eyes. It's not working. He is clutching the light of Corchin, but it's lifeless in his hands. Verona says, such a shame. Oh no, Verona! I know I screwed up. I had totally screwed up. I gave her the wrong object. I gave her an object that didn't cure her. Because I misunderstood the prompt. Oh, no. I turn to see the occult scholar. Her eyes are black, and she has a dread vivant in her hands. Where did she get that from? Not Strange Antiquities, I hope. She must be using it to dampen the power of the light of Corchin. We will take the casket now. It will be opened. All around us, the black-eyed mob shrieks and cheers, jostling and shoving and tripping over one another in their frantic race to reach the casket. Those at the front are nearly upon us. All hope is lost. No! I screwed up the whole game just because I gave her the wrong object, because I misunderstood what was happening. But the thaumaturge thinks faster than I do. He quickly activates a Daedalus link and floats out across the pit, clutching the casket. Oh no, Eli! The mob around me pays me no attention. They only have eyes for the casket. Eli begins to speak, quietly at first, and then rising in volume until he is almost shouting. I am no longer afraid. I am the dirt beneath the ground and the rock below that. I am the dust stretched thin across empty space. I am everything cold and dead and dying. Eli, what are you gonna do? But I am also the heat and the light, the wind, the ice and the fire, the leaves on the tree and the water and the river. I am everything warm and alive and living. Oh, Eli. At that moment, Eli locks eyes with me, and suddenly I understand what I need to do. I charge forward and tackle the possessed scholar. I grapple with her, trying to prise the dread Vivant from her hands, but she is surprisingly wiry and strong. We teeter closer and closer to the edge of the pit, and cold fear hits my stomach as I look down into its inky depths. With one last burst of energy, I grab Verona and twist my body, pushing with all my strength. She scrabbles at the bare dirt at the edge, but she is unable to find purchase and she falls. I will never forget the look of shocked horror on her face as she plunges into the darkness of the pit. Oh no, Verona! It's all my fault! I want to play this game all over again so I can save Verona. Eli wastes no time. As soon as he is able to, he activates the light of Corchin. Time stands still and there is a rush and a roar as a swirling vortex of blue-green light races up out of the pit. The full force of it strikes Eli and he is obliterated by its power. Eli! The casket is sent soaring up into the night sky where it seems to hang for a moment, turning slowly in the air until with a shrieking, splintering crash it shatters into 1,000 pieces, and then there is nothing but smoke and the smell of ozone, and all is quiet. Pillar of Calaris, destroy the casket. This is the end. Reach an ending. Master Thaumaturge, complete the game without using hints. Eli's death has hit me hard in the aftermath of the events at the pit. Without his sacrifice, the casket would have surely been opened and devastation and horror unleashed on the world. Oh, Eli was the real hero. But it is Verona that keeps me up at night. I have spoken to her daughter, Simone, and she does not blame me, but I can't help replaying it over and over in my mind, trying to will a different outcome into existence. I fear I will forever be haunted by it. Yeah, it has been some small comfort to learn that those who were under the casket's spell have been released. They remember nothing from the ordeal, but there seems to be no lingering ill effect, and Dr. Robertson says they have all made a full recovery. I knew it when I was editing the video where Verona showed up and she had black eyes, and I had two options. I could give her something that would like unleash the power of her rage. I think it was called a Zephyrim. Or I could give her something that would quell the dissent within her or something like that. And I thought it would be a bad idea to give her the Zephyrim and unleash the power of her rage because she was possessed. I was like, oh, that's a bad thing to do. I'm not going to do that. But then when I went back and was editing the episode, I realized that the rage was Verona inside still fighting against possession. And so I should have given her the Zephyrim. But it was not clear in that moment to me. And it was a huge mistake that cost Verona and Eli their lives. I don't know if Eli would have died regardless, but it definitely cost Verona her life, and that's my fault. And I will live with that forever. Ending 7, a noble death. The casket has been destroyed, but at what cost? Eli and Verona are deceased. Rebecca Barton is alive. Edmund Bishop's alive. Francesca's alive. Bonnie is insane. Audrey Bell is deceased, murdered by her own bloodthirsty followers when the casket was not opened. Yeah, well, I don't know. That's fine. Jack Hungerford is insane. He never recovered after falling deeper into the trance. His mind is forever broken. Thaddeus White is alive and ashamed of the part he played. Simone Green is alive, missing her mother. And Jupiter is rescued, fully recovered from his catnapping ordeal. Yeah, well, Audrey Bell can lick a butt. I mean, she was a jerk. So farewell to her. I don't feel sorry for her being gone. She was a weird, power-hungry person. Murdered by her bloodthirsty followers when the casket wasn't open. Yeah, she wanted it to be open so that Holgar's evil would be unleashed. So screw that lady. Bonnie Robertson, her thoughts are scattered after being sliced with a diverging hook. Well, she wanted to kill Barton Potter. So I had to cut part of her mind out so she wouldn't keep trying to kill him. She's the one that catnapped my cat, so you know what? She gets what she gets. Oh, wow. Yeah, Edmund Bishop stayed at the castle and weathered the storm. Oh my gosh, so if I had gotten ending 7, that means there's at least 6 other endings. possibly more if there were 8 or more endings. So depending on the ending, I guess, depends on who remains alive or dead or insane. Oh my gosh. Talk about replayability. That was awesome, though. What an incredibly fun game. I'm surprised how invested I was, considering that it was just, you know, a little like point and click puzzle type game. To me, it felt like an escape room type game. It had those kind of elements of the way the puzzles were constructed, like an escape room. But, you know, I wasn't really escaping a room. But just, wow. Wow. Very well done. I'm not even mad about the fact that some of this stuff was ambiguous, like me not understanding what Verona really needed, because, you know, I'm not the thaumaturge. I was his apprentice or whatever, and so I was doing the best I could. Just glad I rescued my cat. And we get credits. Oh, Epilogue. Day 19 Epilogue. Okay. I'm going to put the Tenebrae cloak over here where it should have been, though. When I was looking for it in alphabetical order. We didn't end up using or identifying this Argyle. There are some other objects that we didn't identify or use. It may have something to do with the choices I made in the game. And also, my daughter pointed out, my youngest, baby Jewel Smith, she said, well, there's got to be some objects, you know, just so that it makes it harder to figure out. When you get closer to the end of the game and you're trying to figure out what objects people need, there's got to be some in there, you know, to kind of mix it up so it's not too obvious which object it is. Tess Sherwood. Who's Tess Sherwood? My father is suffering from Morgan's insanity. His doctors have given up on him, but Dr. Robertson told me there might be a way to save him. She said it might be possible to stop the infection spreading by cutting the poisonous thoughts from his mind, but she said it was beyond her skill. Oh no. She's talking about cutting the poisonous thoughts from his mind, which sounds like a diverging hook, because the diverging hook is a way to carve thoughts from the mind of another. But it has to be done with skill. And then the abrasive mether, it purges unwanted memories. I don't think that's, I mean, it's similar to what she's talking about, but I don't think that's quite what she wants. And a sex drum protects against insanity. See, it's protection from insanity. But she wants to cut the poisonous thoughts from his mind, so I'm going to go with the diverging hook. Good luck with that, I guess. Peggy Grafton. We haven't seen her before. There's an old hermit living out past Wastwater who barely comes into town. He brings me lists now and then for odd things. This time he wants something that will pull water from thin air. No idea if he's mad or onto something, but I said I'd ask around. Pull water from thin air. Well, let's see if we can look up water in our book. There's a Manos. And water's shadow. I think water's shadow makes you be able to pass through walls. What's a Manus? These are lighter than an evocant by half. Not exactly the most useful insight. They are carried by desert nomads who use them to conjure precious water from the cool night air. Okay. Lighter than an evocant by half. So what we can do is get our scales. Grab the evocant. Lighter than an evacant by half. How much is an evacant weigh? It weighs 1 pound. So what we're looking for is something that weighs half a pound. Now this seems to me like it might be, I mean, it looks like it would hold water. But it's way too heavy. Now this has the right weight. And this stone of turquoise gemstone is aquamarine, which represents water. And the hand might be symbolic that it's pulling water from the air. Alright, this seems the most likely. And we are correct. The item features an aquamarine gemstone, a stone of water. Using my scales, I checked that it weighs half a pound, half the weight of an evacant. Okay. We have identified the menace. Let's see what's next. Cecil Bateman. My lungs are shot. My doctors have told me to settle my affairs. Oh no, Cecil. But I'm not ready to give up, not yet. I've heard a local story about the Witch of Undermere and her healing abilities. They say it's dangerous and painful, but sometimes it works. You're desperate, huh, Cecil? Okay, I think he's talking about the witch's finger. This one here. Witch's fingers are said to be the severed digits of the Witch of Undermere. They are capable of inflicting intense pain, but the goal is supposedly purification of the body, a most unpleasant experience, but a last resort that has cured some and finished off others. Alright, I'm thinking it might be this dagger thing. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Yeah, it is a weaving edge. Alright. Maybe it's this thing. It's got a wooden base, and maybe the talons are supposed to be the fingers of the witch. Nope, that's not it either. I'm gonna drive myself insane. Oh, maybe it's this thing. I forgot I hadn't identified this. Yeah, this has got a witch symbol on it, and moon, and it's made out of wood. Look. I've completely forgotten about this one. Yeah, witch sign. Okay. Oh, that was it. Saved myself from insanity. Alright, who's next? Owen Fox. My farm is diseased, my crops won't hold, and even the animals are uneasy. My old man says the earth's angry. He says I should call upon Corchin for wisdom and blessings. Can you help? The land's all I've got. Alright, well, let's look up Corchin. I know I've got Corchin's light. The Ossic ring and the Corchena. What's the Corchena? Used to call on the guile and wisdom of the goddess Corchin, goddess of the earth, creation and rebirth. These are not objects of power, but exude an imposing aura. But the Ossic ring is an offering to the goddess. So, is that what he wants? To make an offering to her? Because that's this thing here. But I'm thinking that this game, this follow-up here is trying to help me identify items that I haven't identified before. So I've already identified this Ossic ring, and so I'm thinking that can't be it. But what the heck is it gonna be? This doesn't have any kind of aura. This one is unsettling. It's made of clay, so that's from the earth. And it has green gemstones, which represents nature. This one's made of stone, which comes from the earth. And it has an unsettling aura. Oh my gosh, decisions, decisions. I want to go with this one just because it looks more evil and disturbing. Like, this other object here, the Ostic ring, is also for the goddess. So, she seems to like creepy things. I'm gonna try it. Oh, I'm gonna go insane. I'm gonna go insane. I haven't gone insane in this whole game. Oh. Are you kidding me? Corchin is a serpent goddess? Is she? Closer inspection reveals that they have an imposing aura. The item has connections to the earth with the jade eye as the clay material and the Dradic field. Oh, I didn't even think to check the Dradic field. Oh my gosh. I gotta start being a little more careful or I'm gonna go insane. She's a serpent goddess? Oh yeah, there she is holding serpents. Duh. Okay. Let's see what's next. Martha Chapman. I collect rare artifacts, especially those with, shall we say, questionable uses. A weaving edge has always fascinated me. I don't plan on using it, heavens no. Blood magic, old traditions, I simply must have it. Okay, well I think this is a weaving edge. But let's check out the book here. And let's make sure, because I don't have a lot of room for error anymore. The handle should be made from wood of a great oak. It says it helps enter the red night, a bloodthirsty state of mind. So, is it going to have some kind of field that has to do with the mind? Mentic of the mind. Let's see if it does. No, it's got a Noctic field. Noctic is of the night. Well, it did say you entered the red night, so I hope this is it. Whew, it is. The handle is made of oak, yeah. So we were right about that. Frances Mason. I think we've seen her before. I've read the tales of Caleres from cover to cover. I was surprised to learn of some of the powers he could wield. Did you know that he could walk through walls? Oh, here we go. I read that he used a water's shadow, but that we have lost the knowledge of how they work over the years. Yeah, I think it's this thing. I don't expect I'll get very far with it, but I'd like to study one all the same. Who knows, perhaps I'll succeed where others have failed. See, a water's shadow can be used to pass through solid matter. The items themselves are often uninteresting, producing only a faint thermic field. And that's the main clue with this one, is the faint thermic field. See, the field is there, but it's not as strong as with other items. Plus, it kind of has this, you know, outline of a person, and the emptiness for the head there just makes me feel like that's got to be it. Okay. Here you go. It produces a faint thermic field. Yes. Gus Foley. Hey, Gus. I've been studying old texts, references to things hidden beneath the surface of our world. Yeah, that can be dangerous, Gus. They mentioned the use of a spirit eye to see beyond the black veil. It's something I'd like to experience for myself. I mean, just look what happened to my boss, Eli. He ended up dead dealing with all this stuff. But I guess he died saving the village and the rest of the world, so... I suppose if there are going to be dark forces in the world, we should know how to fight them. Spirit Eye. Well, I think that this is the Spirit Eye. And the reason I think that is because it says they draw their power from the opposing symbols inscribed upon them. And this has the symbols for, I think, fire and ice? Oh, heat and cold is what it was. In here. See, there's a symbol for cold. And that's the symbol for heat. So it's got to be this thing. The item has opposing symbols, heat and cold. The malachite gemstone hints at their ability to see a world beyond ours. Oh, right. We look in gemology here. Malachite, the fourth eye, a stone of sight, of course. Alice Holtby. My grandmother followed the old ways. She kept a Dradic altar in the cellar. She believed in asking for nature's blessing before a harvest. I found a note about a ritual meant to bring abundance, but it needs an Argyle. I think I've got you right here. This seems like the place to find one. The book says about an Argyle. It's a vessel of earth and used in Dradic rituals. Okay, and this is definitely a vessel of earth. It's a vessel. It's a clay pot made out of clay of the earth, and it's got earth symbols on it here. See, that's the symbol for earth. So, this has got to be it. Symbols of earth around the rim and produces a Dradic field. Oh, I didn't even check the field. Again, with me not checking the fields. Yep. Well, now we've identified this. Does it need to go up here? Or should we just leave it where it is? Let's put it over here. It's kind of a unique object in the game. I've been putting containers over here, like these boxes and these jars and things, so, you know, maybe it needs to go over here. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Who's next? Tommy Brown. What you need, Tommy Brown? I work the riverbeds searching for stones, amethyst, jade, maybe Vivianite if I'm lucky. It's hard to spot them in the muck. But I've heard about these remnants that let you feel the glimmer through the dirt. Worth a shot. Remnants that let you feel the glimmer through the dirt. What does that even mean? Oh, there's an Ares remnant, but I've already identified that one. A lot of these ones I'm getting today are things I haven't identified. There's remnant in the index. No, it is not. Alright, what does an Ares remnant do again? Induce a form of synesthesia where colors and tones, light and shadow can be felt through touch. Right, we gave one to the painter lady who was losing her sight. Okay, so if he's using that, he'd be able to see the gems by touching them. That's gotta be it. Oh, I hope it is. It seems kind of weird that he'd be asking for something I already identified, though. But maybe it just has to do with decisions I made in the game. Oh, Thomas Pope is back. We've hit a bit of a snag, and I've had to shut down the quarry. Our dynamite supplier has had a little accident. I'll spare you the details. Oh no. I wonder, is there anything among your fine collection that could get us up and running again in the short term? Oh, he wants the Kraken Rocks thing. He's in the quarry. I'm losing money by the minute. I don't really want to help this guy. I think he's kind of a jerk, but what was the thing that cracks rocks? I think it was called a pit. Yeah, it can be directed to emit powerful vibrations capable of cracking solid rock. It does not produce a thermic field, and I think it's this thing here. Because it has cracks. See, it's made of clay, but it's got this kintsugi, is that how you say that word? The gold repairing it. And it doesn't have a thermic field. I've tested it before. See, nothing happens. So it's got to be this thing. Yay, it's identified. The thermic field it produces is formless. The item is made of 3 different materials: gold for the sun, clay for earth, and the skull of death. Alright. Perfect. We have finally identified this thing for certain sure. Alright, I've done a little bit of rearranging, and now all of the items are in alphabetical order. Going across here. And then going left to right, and then jumping across and going left to right. I've mixed the hanging, necklacey, jewelry items in with all of the other items. Except for over here, I'll still keep my bottles and containers. And this is a special little area for Kernunos and the Methers. And over here, I've still got some of the creepy items. The Witherins and the Fortnants together, the Holgar stuff and the skulls. My tools down here. And then these 2 items, I'm not sure what they are. They are unidentified, so I'm going to keep them under the counter here. I know, I don't really see the point in rearranging the shop now that it's almost the end of the game, but it's fun. My thesis is on the psychology of fear, but books could only take me so far. I need to feel it properly. I'm sure you have something. You want me to make you feel fear? Well, let's look up fear in the index. Oh, there it was. The Light of Fortune, the Spirit Eye, and the Zia. Oh, I think it's the Zia. Worn around the neck and placed close to the heart, these innocent-looking items instill a sense of fear and paranoia. They are made of any single material except wood or clay and have no symbols or writings. Okay, I think this is it. Because it's not made of wood or clay. It has no writings or anything else on it. I have a strong sense of being watched. That would be paranoia. So I'm going to say this is the Zia. Alright, it's made of a single material, bronze. It bears no symbol or other markings. It can be worn around the neck, and it makes me feel paranoid. Yes. Althea O'Shea. I've been looking into Corvin, the Bloody Queen, for a book on historical figures that I'm writing. I'm finding it surprisingly difficult to verify much of her story. I was hoping to take a look at one of the bloodstone artifacts that were created in her name, if you have one, of course. Oh, it's got to be this. It's got to be this. Makes sense. Yes, bloodstone. That's what she asked for. and it's held in a claw. And the story of the Corbin... Oh, why didn't I figure this out before? The story of the Corbin's might is that an eagle brought her a gift. Now see, he's holding it in his mouth in the picture, but he could have been holding it in his claws. That's got to be it. All right. The item represents the eagle's gift. The bloodstone hints at it being used for dark purposes, and it belongs to the Wixic discipline. Okay, I didn't know they were supposed to be Wixic. Yeah, I guess it says it right there. Wixic power. Let's see what the Wixic field looks like around it. Yep. Constance Bader. Oh, we've seen you before. I thought you were having your initiation ceremony. I'm not trying to hurt anyone, just shift their thinking a little. Sometimes all it takes is a suggestion in the right state of mind. Do you have anything suitable? I don't want to give her anything, though. I don't trust her. She's one of those... I thought she was having an initiation ceremony. She was going to have a scar on her face from the talons, the Amphibian talons. Or am I confusing her with someone else? Alright, she wants an item that's going to be able to control and hypnotize other people. I know exactly what it is. Where is it? I haven't officially identified it yet. I think it's over here. Yeah, it's this one, Morgan's Folly. Because when you open this up, there's a little hypnosis symbol in there. Alright, there you go. The pendant features a hidden symbol of hypnosis. Yeah. Jane Fairburn. My sons are out of control. Jail doesn't teach them anything. A year behind bars and they come back worse. I want them to feel the wrong they've done. Real penance so that they might change their ways. Okay. Guilt. The binding seed is a form of punishment that amplifies feelings of guilt and shame. So let's try that. The binding seed. I hope it works for you. It's made of 2 materials, wood and stone, features a spiral surrounding a seed. James Herschel. There's a lawman snooping around the Blacksmith's Guild. Can't have them poking into parts of the business they're not supposed to, if you catch my drift. Okay, what's going on over at the Blacksmith's Guild? That would be an interesting location for a future Strange game. I need a way to keep them out. Oh, yeah, Alunima. It didn't go question mark, question mark, question mark. I don't think I've officially... Yeah, I haven't officially identified Alunima. But the game told me I needed Alunima. The Lunima, or a moon pool, or heart of tranquility, harnesses the power of the elements to create an aura of unease. They are used to keep people away from places they're not welcome. There's a superstition that says it should not be used when the moon is full. No idea where the idea came from. Okay, and the reason I thought it was this was because these are all symbols for storms and like thunder and lightning and snow and all of that, but maybe that's not what they mean when they say the power of the elements. Maybe they mean the 4 elements. A feeling of disquiet lances through my body. Yeah, this has gotta... Okay, this is probably not the Lunima. I bet it's this one. I wonder what kind of field it makes. It makes a selenic field, which I believe has to do with the moon. Selenic of the moon. Yeah, okay. This is probably it then. Alright. Identified. The item bears the symbols of the elements. Closer inspection reveals that it induces a feeling of disquiet and also a selenic field. Okay, so I was wrong about this being the Lunima all this time. Alright, well let's put this over here. Between the Loam and the Menace. Lunima. Charlotte Bradshaw. My brother captains a small fishing vessel in Haverig. There was a big storm last month and 2 boats never came home. I'm sure she wants a shin. I remember what the old sailors used to carry. Charms, tokens, things to keep the sea calm or at least keep you afloat. I want to give him something like that just in case. Yeah, it's a shin. There you go. Because a shin made using materials with a connection to the ocean, and they're used by sailors and fishermen to keep their boats safe. This is made of driftwood and the aquamarine gemstone of the water. So that's got to be it. Item made of driftwood, a material connected to the ocean, aquamarine gemstone, stone of water. Yep. That's what I said. I wish you got some sanity back when you made a correct choice, though. Lillian Higgins. I am full of righteous anger. I won't be taken advantage of anymore. It's time to fight back against my tormentor. He has bullied and threatened me all my adult life, and I've had enough. Oh, I don't blame you. A Zephyrim. That is over here. It's blue painted porcelain. It gives off the scent like a brewing storm, and those are the hints. If we look here, it says it will smell like the storm, ozone, and power, the scent of magic. So that's got to be it. Yep. Oh, I used a resonance compass to confirm it is a resonant object. Closer inspection reveals the scent that I am expecting. Well, I didn't know it was a resonant object. Does it say it's resonant? Oh, yeah, these resonant objects. Oh, geez. Okay. What a dummy I am. This is the resonance compass here. And it points to it. So that would have also been a clue. Okay. Well. In any case. Who's next? The mailman, David Schaefer. Rain again. Soaked to the bone before I'm halfway through my rounds. Oh, he wants the thing to protect him from storms. I'm fed up with it. I've got a few bob to spare if you know a way to keep me dry. Yes, 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 yes. This one right here. I was talking about it having all the symbols of storms. Look here. We've filled all these in. We've identified all of these. Everything here, everything here. So the only thing we haven't identified was the Storm Ward. They're made of bronze or iron. Which this is, made of bronze, and all of these runes around it are symbols of weather, fog, hail, lightning, snow, rain, thunder, wind, cold, all of that. This is it. Here you go, David. I feel like we should be on a first name basis at this point. Ascendant Thaumaturge. Identify all the items. We did it. We got a trophy. The item has numerous weather-related symbols and is made from bronze. Okay, so it's called a Storm Ward. And with that, I am done. Time for a well-earned rest right after I give Jupiter one last scratch behind the ears. Well, I've got to put my Storm Ward up here with all the other goodies. That's where it goes. Oh, I don't want to leave my little shop, though. I like my little shop. I like messing around in here. I like my maps and my lens and my plants and my books and all of my... I honestly feel sad. I'm getting a little choked up. Wow. I don't think I've ever felt that way about leaving a puzzle game before. Well, as I have said before in other episodes, this shop reminds me so much of what I do in real life and have done for the past 30 plus years. Is I have been a jewelry designer, a crafter, an artist, and I used to do shows where I would go and I would sell the things that I made, and so many of the things that I would make and sell are just like these items here. So if you love this game, if you love these items, if you want to check out my shop, check out junkwitch.com. But I think that's why I'm feeling so so emotional, because I love this little shop and I wish I had one in real life. I love it. I love it so much. All right, let's pet Jupiter. We can always come back and play the game again and maybe get a different ending where we save Verona Green. Thanks so much for being with me on this journey through Strange Antiquities, and thank you so much to the developers for making it. I cannot wait to go back and play Strange Horticulture, their previous game, and I cannot wait to see what they might come up with next. I can think of so many possibilities. Strange Apothecary, strange archaeology, strange literature in the library, the blacksmith shop. Any of those locations would be so interesting. I can't wait to see. Thank you again. I want to thank my channel supporters, everyone who leaves a like, subscribes, comments. All of those things help me. I'm a small channel and every little bit helps. Do take care of yourselves until next time, and if I don't see you before then, have a happy Halloween.